Yesterday I asked, what is culture? Today I want to ask a related question. Where is culture? That may seem like an odd question to ask, but gaining some sense of this is vital if we want to understand what it means to live a Christian life in the world. Part of the answer may surprise you. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Friday, June 7th, 2024. You have undoubtedly heard something to the effect that Christians are supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. Actually, the Bible itself never says exactly that, though it is a faithful summary of a variety of passages, especially passages in the Johannine literature. In Jesus' so-called high priestly prayer on his disciples' behalf immediately after the Last Supper, as it's recorded in the Gospel of John, Jesus says, "I have given them your word, and the world has hated them because they do not belong to the world, just as I do not belong to the world." I'm not asking you to take them out of the world, but I ask you to protect them from the evil one. They do not belong to the world, just as I do not belong to the world. Many Christians take this to mean that Christianity and culture are two radically separate things. But the reality is much more complex than that. Because here's the thing about culture. Not only are we in it, culture is in us. It is why I used the story of the fish yesterday. A fish may know many things, but it is probably unaware of what water is, because water to a fish is simply the unseen medium in which it lives. Likewise, culture is the unseen medium in which we live. True, there are parts of culture that we can see as from a distance, but most of it is transparent. For example, we don't think about the language we speak, we just speak it. That's what it means that we live in culture. But the idea that culture lives in us, the way we see the world around us is conditioned by the way we speak. It gives us not only a vocabulary to talk about the world, the vocabulary itself shapes our understanding of the world. Different people who live in different cultures, speaking different languages, think differently about the world. Our English language, for example, has only one word for love. Greek has 3. Our English language has one word for snow. Other languages have many words for snow. Language, then, shapes how we understand and interpret the world around us. And language is just one part of culture that is in us and shapes how we see the world. All of which is to say, even when we self-consciously place ourselves in a position of opposition to the world around us, that world is also within us. So, where is culture? Part of the answer is that culture is both a reality in which we exist, but it also exists within us, shaping how we think and how we act. But another part of the answer is that culture is in all of the things that define our world. Family, for example, is a cultural invention. Civil government, economic systems, art, music, religion, social groups, all of these things and more are part of the culture around us. Different cultures may organize them differently, but they are all features of pretty much all human communities, which leads to another observation. All of these institutions ask us for our loyalty. Not only our families, but also the social system that we call family asks for our faith and allegiance. Religion, as a social institution, as distinct from God, also asks us for our allegiance. Nation, tribe, social group, all of these things ask us for our allegiance, our loyalty. And that's not a bad thing. Imagine living in a world where everyone literally did their own thing all the time. It would be utter chaos. No, culture exists because we human beings have to arrange things so that we can function in some reasonable semblance of order. The fights we have in our cultures about a great many things are simply fights about how we order things, not whether we should order things. We may fight about who should be married, but we don't generally fight about marriage itself. The issue, of course, is how, as Christians, we navigate our loyalty to Jesus Christ, as opposed to the many good things in our culture that also ask for our loyalty. All of which brings us back to where we began this week, with Niebuhr's articulation of the enduring problem of the relationship between Christ and culture. That's what we're talking about. Tomorrow, I'll try to tie all of this together so that we can begin to move on to Niebuhr's descriptions of the various typical ways different parts of the Christian church navigate these various loyalties. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.